County Public School Board meeting. Let's stand and, oh no, we need to certify before we do that.
Okay. This roll call vote is to certify that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matter lawfully exempt from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed session were heard, discussed, or considered during closed session. Mr. Tanson?
Yes.
Ms. Stiff?
Yes.
Dr. Ariely?
Yes.
Ms. Kimball?
Yes.
Mrs. Carson?
Yes.
Dr. Corbett?
Yes.
Mr. Tackett?
Yes.
And Mr. Foley?
Yes.
All right, let's stand and have a second pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any additions to the agenda of this? No? Okay. I move we approve the agenda.
Second.
Second. All in favor? All right, we're gonna do awards, recognition, and so forth.
Well, good evening, Ms. Carson and members of the board. This is always an exciting part of the meeting where we do our recognitions. And as you know, the Virginia School Board Association each year does the Media Honor Roll. And what this is reporters and local media outlets play an important role in public education. School division leaders rely on responsible reporting by local media representatives so that community members receive timely information about division initiatives and programs. Considering the impact that media coverage can have on a community attitudes and belief, the VSBA Media Honor Roll was created to recognize fair and balanced reporting about our schools and Virginia's public school system. The Media Honor Roll recognizes media representatives in 4 categories: print, radio, digital, and television. Criteria include the following: makes an effort to get to know the superintendent and the board chair, understands the division's mission and goals, reports news in a manner that is fair, accurate, and balanced, gives high profile position to good news about schools, regularly visits the schools, attends board meetings, and maintains a policy of no surprises by sharing information with school representatives. This year, we are at Prince Edward County Public Schools. We are recognizing Brian Carlson with the Farmville Herald. Mr. Carlton, he's not here, but I have a representative from the Farmville Herald. Mr. Carlton has moved to Massachusetts. But the Farmville Herald does a good job, so I don't know why he didn't take a flight to come down here and get this. That's on him. We still did it anyway. And then for Media Honor Roll, we did WFLO Radio 870. So, and WFLO is here, so come on up so we can get this recognition.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, do we want a picture?
Yes, please.
All right, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
We all stand. All right, no, you're good.
And we want to thank you because, as y'all know, Dr. Jones is the model. So thank you so much. We appreciate you participating.
Thank you. And John, introduce yourself to the board so they know you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Donna Van Cleve, managing partner. And
I'm Noah Sarge, account executive, and a little bit of everything. You know.
Thanks.
We appreciate all that WFLO does for us. As you know, each month I go in and give an update about the school division, and they've been a great partner with us. We're working in the spring where some of our students will go there for a work-based learning opportunities, so they learn about media. So we're finalizing that partnership. So we appreciate that. And then the information that if you get that I send out, they do have a weekly information that comes out on Thursday that talks about Farmville Now. Just talks about all the happenings that are happening in the Farmville community and surrounding area. So we appreciate that. And then also we have WVHL Kicking Country Radio 92.9. And I was just with them today, so they didn't tell me they weren't coming, but they didn't tell me they were coming either. So we did recognize them. So I appreciate them because 92.9 with Peggy Love at the 9 o'clock hour, and then you have WFLO, two different audiences. We reach two different audiences in those segments, but it's always good to highlight what goes on in the Prince Edward County Public Schools. And Ms. Carson, next we have the VSBA Academy Awards. It's important for the school board to recognize excellence in leadership and achievement for all staff members. It's equally important to recognize the accomplishments of individual school board members for participations in VSBA meetings, other academy sessions, and VSBA governance and service activities. So, and VSBA awards from, this will be from 2023 to 2025. We have award of distinction for Ms. Carson. Come on up and get your certificate. Looks like you got a starfish. I've just learned through the years earning the starfish is a big deal. So tonight is your night. We have Award of Excellence, and it looks like this is a VSBA pin. We have Dr. Corbett, come on up, please. Congratulations. All right.
We could have done all three of us together.
I know. Ms. Kimbrough, come on up. You need your individual time.
Yes.
It's your moment. Ms. Stiff. You want to come up front? Come on.
Yes.
I can go right back up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
For award of recognition, we have Mr. Farley. There you go. Congratulations. And then award of recognition, I got one as well, I guess, from Cumberland Hearing over into Prince Edward. So with that, that is all the recognitions that I have.
Thank you. Did a great job.
Thank you.
We're actually.
I don't think I was eligible. We'll get the 25 to 27 cycle, I guess.
We're on number 9, thank you. Public participation. We do have someone who has signed up, but before we have them come up to the podium, I'd like to share the guidelines for public content. The purpose of public comments portion of the meeting is to direct comments to the board and or provide information. The board listens to each comment and does not engage in dialogue with the speaker. Comments should be respectful and demonstrate consideration for others by not referring to any specific person or personal incident. When the speaker's allotted time expires, the board chair will give a signal and the speaker should conclude his or her comments. Each participant has up to 5 minutes to speak. The superintendent will provide the speaker with follow-up response on behalf of the board. Thank you in advance for following this procedure. Your cooperation ensures individuals can share their comments while also allowing the timely completion of board agenda. Dr. Gurr, you signed up, and would you give your address, please? Your name and your address.
My address is 1813 Woodland Trail, Farmville, Virginia. How are you, the board members,
Yes.
superintendent, and then all faculty? I'm concerned about the math curriculum. So because I learned the high school is still require 3 math teachers, and the Governor Youngkin required it to increase the math SO test harder for 40%. So my suggestions is to move all high school math to the high school. So middle school students don't take any high school math. Okay, my daughter was the talented and gifted student. When she was at the middle school, she already took the high school math. At that time, there were 2 programs for talented and gifted students. One is the governor's school, one is the engineering program for the Virginia Tech Engineering College. So at that time, they try to start to give a high school math to teach high school math to middle school students. One reason is the Virginia Tech require College of Engineering and College of Science new students to take a math test, and the engineering program was emerged into governor's school. My daughter was accepted by Virginia Tech Physics Department, and the test center told my daughter to take the math practice test as many times as she needs. So she took the test and passed. She told me actually the real math test and the practice test basically are the same. So at that time I think actually we don't need to start to let the middle school students to take the high school math. So right now we just concentrated the math on the high school and high school classes on the high school. So the high school math teacher is excellent, and Andrew Adley taught elegantly. And for 1 year, the math essay was short just for 1 point. So right now we need to concentrate to take care of both schools. So we just try to move all high school math courses to the high school, and move some math teachers to high school. For the middle school, they don't need to take a high school math, so they will reduce their burden, so they can concentrate to pass the middle school SO test. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that's it. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kerr. All right, we're going to move on to number 10, consent agenda for today.
I actually have a question about the attendance, and I just need clarification because I've never understood it.
Okay.
Under attendance and membership, all right, under, if we go up to the copy of the admin report where it says that,
The first one?
the very first one at
Yes,
the top of this public, it says for September, right, 2025,
Yes.
Our attendance for the month at the elementary school was 94.63, is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
correct? And middle school was 94.55, and grade 8 had 95% attendance, and the rest of the high school was at 91, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's what I thought, which
to me, is not that bad. But then, down here under the executive content, we have the amount of chronic absenteeism rates. And those numbers don't seem to match to me. And again, maybe I'm not understanding the two different charts, but if our chronic absenteeism rate is as high as it says it is for the elementary school, middle school, and high school, and you subtract that from 100, that doesn't equal the number. I mean, so maybe it's, I don't understand it, but because I know we struggle with absenteeism, but a 95% attendance rate is really, really high. And I don't see how you can have a chronic absenteeism rate of 20% and be at 95% attendance, if that makes sense.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Do you wanna explain it or want me to?
Is,
Both of us can
well, we
probably
can piggyback off each other. The ADM, that's the average daily membership. And so overall, that particular day, we saw that that was the population. But that's not counting for the kids that are, the soft population that is chronically absent.
Okay, so, all right, but I just don't understand it,
So, I think when you look at these attendance reports for the month, the chronically absent, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the chronically absent students are based on the number of days that we've been in school.
Correct,
So if we've only been in school, let's say 20 days,
right.
and to be chronically absent, the percentage is, you can miss 2 days.
Right.
So the numbers don't necessarily
They're
match.
not gonna match.
They're not-
No,
They're
ma'am.
never gonna match,
No, ma'am.
so
Yeah.
for that ADM report, for the month of September, the elementary school averaged 591.7 people.
Yes, on a daily
On a
basis.
daily basis, and on a daily basis, right at 95% of them were there every day.
Yes.
Now, some of them could be still chronically absent
Yes.
and it not bring our number down past 95%, is that correct?
Yes.
That is
Yes.
correct.
Got it, okay,
Yes.
okay, I was
Yes.
trying to subtract
Yes.
that number from 100 and it was so not coming up right. So, all right, thank you very
Yes,
much,
sir.
I appreciate that.
And I actually look at the, that other table that we have, but
Which
we don't
one?
have that table, looks like we're not keeping that current, the one with
Which one?
the, copy of the
Last day of each
last,
month.
each month. And and the copy of the, that page. And then usually, we're not keeping that current like we used to.
It has September
It
25
has
on there.
September.
Is that,
Yeah.
It's
Oh, it's
It's
on there.
This would only be through the end of September. See, this column right here. See, I haven't gotten October yet.
okay,
Right, yes. And see, and then when we do it at our November meeting, that column for October will be filled out.
okay,
Okay?
that's good.
Does that answer your
That's
question?
good, that's good.
Yeah. So we
Cause I was
are,
looking at it backwards.
because we don't get the principal's attendance reports, you can't get them till the end of the month. So in order for us to get the board pack and information ready, we have to pull the most current month of school that we've completed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I move we adopt the consent agenda.
Second, all right, all in favor?
Well, I have a
Oh,
question.
sorry.
You have a question?
Was it the consent agenda?
The attendance part is
Yeah.
on there.
No, that's okay. My question was about did we, I didn't see the minutes from the last.
They're right
They
there,
were.
under the consent agenda.
Minutes, they're on there.
Were they?
Oh, that they're not attached to the
Yeah,
they're
that's
not
what attached, yeah.
They are not attached.
We will get on that.
Okay.
Second.
Yes, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah.
I just want to commend our schools, our students, administration, across the gamut as far as you see these attendance percentage numbers, really good going into month two, then the stability of the end of the school year last year with our total number across the division and the increase, and it's stable, and we don't see a decrease. So so that supports good things going on, so thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now,
Did you have a question?
I was gonna ask, do we need to change the motion then?
to
Approval
And-
and consent agenda with the exception of the minutes?
exception of the minutes? Yeah.
Exception of the minutes.
So
Because you made the motion and you seconded it, but you didn't vote on it.
So
Right,
we
we did not
gotta
vote,
put the
so
name
now-
first and then
You amend it.
have a new.
And then, who made the motion?
I made the motion.
Can you?
Yeah, I move that we amend my initial, motion. I'd like to move that we, approve the consent agenda without the minutes since they are not actually attached.
Everybody else?
Does she need a second?
Yeah.
You
Second.
do need a second.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, all in favor? Thank you. Yes, sir.
So the next on there, we'll get an update from Mosley Architects, and today we have Jen with us because, Mr. Halsley could not be here, and in this, we will get an update on the elementary school construction project as well as an update on the high school auditorium renovation update. As you know, that was one of the things that, when Dr. Cox was leaving, in the spring and into June, that we were looking at the renovations for the auditorium, and Jen and her team have done a fabulous job in providing us some information, so, all right.
All right, good evening, dear lady, Ms. Carson, and Superintendent Dr. Jones, and school board members. My name is Jennifer Potts, I'm from Mosley, call me Jen. I'm working on the elementary school over here, and I'm here to review our September progress, and then we'll report on the high school study we did for the auditorium. So, our agenda will be the project updates, next step, and any questions you may have. Our September progress is phasing. We met with the staff for elementary school and Mr. Good, and we reviewed next steps for phase 3, which is planned to start after the completion of the addition. We are staying on task for the move-out date, or moving the next phase out. So we're on time for that. Reviewed new interior finishes for the front desk and the library casework, and the furniture as well. We're navigating lead times for some equipment ongoing, some of it's held up in the ports, and some things just take a little longer than others. But I think we're pretty good for our next phase being done. There's warning signage has been added by English on the site entry gates, and additional cones and deterrents have been added. New temporary fencing has been placed for the upcoming work for the building pad between building A and C, and that is the infill new construction piece that's going to be happening on the backside, close to the high school. Framing E is wrapped up, as you can see. I was over there yesterday, and they have gyp going up, and so you won't see that in the slides here, but it's really exciting to see how fast things are coming along. The windows and exterior siding is ongoing. They actually got the exterior windows up. They're working on the interior windows now. Administrative suite is being drywalled and primed. We even saw some paint in there yesterday. Roof deck replacement is occurring at the existing construction in select areas in building B1 and B2. Brick and spray foam has been placed. We still have some site walls that they're starting to get the footings in right now. Mechanical, plumbing, electrical is still roughing ongoing. So as they're finishing up, they're gyp walling the walls, and they're done with that. We still have some sprinklers that they're going to be placing after the finishes come in. Water retention pond and chiller pad in rear school site behind the gym nearing completion, and chillers to be connected in the next couple of weeks, which you'll see in the slide coming up. We have the standing seam metal roof at the new construction has started and close to completion. So here are some images close up. The far right is the chiller pad. It's what's going to make your building breathe. And we're getting the metal panels in soon. Here are some of the framing without the gyp. And where you're seeing that middle picture is an example of our wall flashing and our insulation that is now covered with our curtain wall and storefront windows. Oh, sorry. It's important for us to look at all that stuff when we're out there. Our next steps, construction October 24, March 2027, phasing updates will be provided as the project progresses. Right now, we're still staying on task with our schedule. You have any questions? Have you been out there to take a glance?
Oh, yeah, it's great looking.
Any feedback?
Looks
We always like to
wonderful.
hear pros and cons. So.
As long as y'all keep the weather nice, I think we'll be good.
All right. So our next item is the Prince Edward County High School. This is the auditorium study update. Our team was asked to go out there and conduct a study. Our task was to conduct a facility assessment of the auditorium and supporting infrastructure, which is the HVAC, electrical, roof, interior finishes, develop renovation options for consideration, develop planning budget for each option.
Jen, may I stop you right there? So
Yes.
when Jen and the team came out and initially met with us, one of the things that we asked for was, let's have 3 options. A basic renovation and what that would cost, a medium renovation, and then the all-out renovation. So you will see 3 different renovations that we asked for Mosley to present to us, and they did that. And as you know, just to give you a little background information about this is, the Board of Supervisors and some turnback money that the school division had allocated, it was I think $1,035,000, and that was for the renovation of the Barbara Johns Auditorium. But also in that funding came the fencing that we put in behind the elementary school. So I think if I remember off the top of my head, that fencing was around $75,000. And so when you take the $75,000 out of the $1,035,000, you drop just a little bit under $1 million. So I just want to lay that context of where we are for these 3 plans for the renovation of the Barbara Johns Auditorium. Just wanted to give a little background
Appreciate
information
that.
there.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yeah. And our team that came out for the assessment. We had mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, and our architectural team that came out to look. We were on the roof, in the walls, all over the place, and we had the privilege of speaking to staff, principal. Our team reviewed the existing. We found that it was in good shape, but it's dated. There are some things that could be improved. We looked at the rigging system on the stage. We looked at the existing HVAC system. We looked at the lighting and the sound system and clearances around doors and access to the stage. Some of the mechanical equipment, like I said, is aged, and there is some leaks happening at the roof. We have had our roof associate come out, and she found some where the leaks are from the current HVAC system. So we're looking at some roof renovation in this. Like I said, different levels of renovation can be considered. We're about to show you. All options would include the roof rehabilitation. New HVAC is very important. Seating options vary. The seating is original. Some seats weren't working. They have the original reupholster, and I know this space is used by community and the school heavily. Retaining the character of the house. After we met with Prince Edward County Public Schools, they let us know it was really important to keep that part of the project, like part of the aura about the space. Celebrating the history and namesake of the auditorium is very important as well. So our first option is option 1, which would have a new HVAC system, roof rehabilitation. It would be new seating. We did look at an option of keeping the seating and just repairing, reupholstering, but it comes out to be the same price pretty much once you remove and salvage and put it back. So we would do the same layouts, the same seating number and everything to where it is. The green symbolizes the light renovation. So we would keep all of the wainscot that's going around. We could refinish that, put new bulbs on the stage lighting, new sound system, new projection screens, and paint new ceiling for this option. And the budget is down below, a little under 2.4 million. Option 2 is, again, the new HVAC, the roof rehabilitation, new seating with similar layout. We would omit a couple that aren't shown on there for ADA, having ADA seating in the front and the back. So may reduce the seat count just a tad. Medium renovation of the house would be new finishes, so we would take off any wainscot going around and add acoustic panels and paint, new stage lighting, new sound system, new projection screens, and we're looking at 2.9 million for that. And option 3 is our most invasive one. It's combined a lot of light renovation, medium renovation, and heavy renovation. The new HVAC, like I mentioned, roof rehabilitation, heavy renovation of house, which new finishes, ceiling reconfiguration, paint, stage, house floor, and ADA. To make this ADA compliant, we would need to provide access around the adjacent corridors with ramps, which can be a heavy rental. And also we would need to redo the flooring inside of this theater for some leveled areas as well. Light renovation in areas that might be affected by the heavy renovation are shown in green, and new seating layout with new house floor. This will reduce seating a little bit more, just because you'll need to add ADA seating in the middle, so it's dispersed throughout the theater. New stage lighting and sound system, new projection screens, like I mentioned, the ADA work around the surrounding corridors so you can access the stage. And our budget for that was 4.4 million. The hefty of the 3. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
So how much of the 2.4, basically, is the new HVAC and the roof rehabilitation?
That's
As
included
in
in
how much
option 1.
of that is?
Oh,
It would be, it's about, the HVAC system itself is 350,000. That's an
Okay.
estimate based on current
Right.
markets.
Right.
And then the roof, the rehabilitation piece for that is 166,000. So you're looking probably 5. So if the budget, is just dropped off under $1 million, so no matter what option we do, there needs to be roof work and an HVAC work. We
Right.
know that because whatever renovations we did, you have to have a good roof and you have to have a place that can heat and cool. That's just a basic necessity. And so, and then looking at, Jen and I had this conversation the other day is, that's 500. That leaves you about 4. So we'd have to look at, is the seating and the flooring, is that something that, what is the other priority? I mean, we could paint, we could paint and do some things. And then looking at the sound and the lighting, because lighting can be expensive, but we can make it, maybe scale that back a little bit. So, there's different options
Yep.
that we have to look at.
Yeah.
So, I know we got a new boiler. Do boilers include, air conditioning too, for the gym
No.
last year? Okay, but I'm assuming, I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that if there's a new HVAC system needed for the auditorium, and that only does the auditorium, right? It doesn't heat or cool any other
I
part of
believe
the
it's just
school?
the
It's just the
auditorium.
auditorium.
That the rest of the high school needs new HVACs. And probably, it needs roof rehabilitation all over the whole building. But I guess we have to start somewhere.
Yeah. Start somewhere.
Yes, ma'am.
My concern would be, what can we live with, what can we do without?
Right.
And I think maybe as a unit, we need to look at what's in each option that would optimize the usage and enjoyment of the auditorium. if money is not an option, then let's go with the best one, of course. But I would not want us to scale back so far that we don't see the renovations
Yes.
that have occurred.
Yeah.
It needs to be seen, because it has not. I graduated from that auditorium, so anything short of that, nah.
It, so I think with that, no matter what we do, the HVAC in the roof will be hard for us to see, you'll feel it.
Right.
One, it won't be leaking, and number two, it'll be either warm or it'll be cool. So that, the comfort piece. And based on the money that's available, is the next thing to work on the flooring and the seating. I mean, if the seating needs to be updated, and maybe there's a piece that we could work on the sound, that we do different things in stages, and as funds become available, we go from there. But the larger picture here is, and Mr. Stanley and I've had this conversation a little bit, is, right now we have this construction project going on at the elementary school. Once that's done, at some point the high school is going to need work.
Absolutely.
If we do a major, and I don't know whether it will be a renovation or whether it'll be a new facility, who knows what that may be in time. But if we invest a lot of dollars in the auditorium, what we're unofficially saying, and this is a Chip Jones as the superintendent right now, is that part of the facility, no matter what we do, is going to stay. Because it would be hard to invest a lot of dollars and then in 3 or 4 years, we do away with it. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does.
So that's the bigger conversation.
Are we committed to staying there and that being where it is right now?
And that would be a conversation with the funding piece with the board of supervisors and different things. So, but we do know along the way, once we finish this at the elementary school, there is some renovation that needs to be done at the high school. And if it's going to be to the existing facility, do you start with new windows, new doors, and those kind of things, roof, renovate bathrooms, stages. I mean,
So my question is, should we be looking at the condition of the roof and things like that at this point? Because we don't want to be in the same situation that we were with the elementary school, where we were pushed and had to do something about the roof and then get a new building and everything. So should we be looking at that at this point? And looking at trying to do something about, that.
Yes, sir.
Right now.
If you do any updates to the roof and you do HVAC later.
But I mean the whole building.
Right, but if you do any HVAC updates later, you will have to tear up that roof and undo some of the work you've done. So I might wait just to see if there's going to be needed extra support for your HVAC systems, because we'll have to tear it. But
I agree with you, Dr. Corbett, that I would rather this board be proactive about the high school rather than reactive.
Right.
And so, maybe in 2026, we make a decision about what we're gonna do about the auditorium. But in addition to that, we go ahead and get y'all to take a look at the whole high school and see, where are we? What does really and truly need to be done? Because I'm not sure, I know in the last 3.5 years, we haven't had a in-depth look at the high school and what it needs. And just so that we know, the board of supervisors know what could be coming down the pike, so that they don't get caught surprised, and that when the elementary is over in March of 2027, fingers crossed, we have a 2% sales tax by then. And then we could then just move right on into a high school renovation, whether it's done in stages or not, or how we do it. That's what
and I can see what we have on hand for our last roof assessment there. If it's the whole entire school, if our new one needs to happen, just so we know there's.
Mr. Townsend.
Yeah, you're, I think all the things are kind of bleeding into the question I was gonna ask, which is, in any case, the options, like, just the idea of, like, renovating in isolation, just wanted to match what the future aesthetic might be, and I'm sure that you all are considering that, but just wanted to state that for the record, to make sure we don't have a auditorium that looks extremely nice and the rest of the school that looks nice, but may not fit, right? Because I've seen renovations in 6 months of people complaining about the bricks not matching in one part and the other part, it's just, yeah, so just a thought.
And that's what I was gonna mention, just what Mr. Townsend mentioned, that really this, to make it done right, to where we can be proud of, it needs to be inclusive with the major renovation of the whole high school. But minimum, what can be done as far as to help our theater students, as far as to whether it's good sound and good lighting, and address that for now.
So if we're gonna spend,
So,
if we're gonna spend what we have to what we.
What we can get.
Yeah, for what we can get, I guess that would be that's where we're back to, I guess.
but the other thing I was gonna add, in addition to the high school, is the middle school. We need a really facilities assessment done on each campus to where it's gonna address and bring our schools up to where they need to be. We're gonna have a state-of-the-art elementary, our high school and middle school, those students deserve the same thing just across our whole division. But we can't wait when that project's done, wait 2 or 3 years, we've gotta be ready to go with the next project.
Mr. Stanley and I had talked as well about the capital improvement projects for the county, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that plan is updated every 2 years, and then it would be updated not this year, but next year. Am I right on that, Mr. Stanley? So, yeah.
Just if I can add.
Yeah, absolutely.
From a funding perspective, and Chip and I had the opportunity earlier today to talk for a few minutes. You know, we're gonna be finishing our audit here in December. We'll know what kind of leftover funding, so part of your anticipated leftover funding we actually use for the budget this year, that's a piece of it. I'm hoping there's another chunk that could be, y'all could request and put towards, whether it's this or something else, but request. We're probably gonna have some surplus on the elementary project. I know there's maybe some cafeteria and furniture needs that are there for the elementary project, but there still could be. I don't know if we can use it, or do I have to use that for debt service, I can use some other cash, but do a little trade-off that if the school board chose to move forward with a project, someone like this, we may have some flexibility in 26 that you could do that if the funding was there, without even asking for anything additional. Just talking about your leftover unspent funds from FY 25 and or anything left over on the elementary school project. So we'll know as we move forward. And you always have to be careful in renovation, what you might uncover. So you don't want to leave yourself too thin. But the best way to, as Mr. Tackett said, you got to eat the elephant at one bite at a time. I know we want to do the high school middle. The 1% sales tax would give us.
1%, I thought.
That's right. I'll take 2. The flexibility is certainly much greater, right?
Yes.
If we're able to start collecting those funds and really looking holistically. But you know, what's the high school? I've seen 100, 150 million. I mean, it's build a new school.
I don't want to build these.
Yeah, I think you're going to be. It may be a combo like we're doing at the elementary school, or renovation, maybe there's some tear down, expansion. So I think there's a way to move forward, but you gotta be forward thinking and tie it with any future renovation concepts. But I would think we'll know by January what your leftover from FY 25 is, and kind of if you've got more dollars to add to the budget. So you may wanna wait till then and see if you've got a little bit more to play with before you have to make some decisions. If that makes sense.
And some of these prices may come, whatever we decide to do, and once it officially goes out for the pricing piece, some of the prices may change. They may go up, they may go down, who knows? And I think what Mr. Stanley is right, for the elementary school, is right now, we're on budget, maybe a little below associated with that project. But one of the things that at some point we're going to have to talk about, and some things and conversations that we've had is, like the kitchen floor at the elementary school renovation where all the equipment is that a total redo of that? Currently, that's not budgeted to do, and the cost estimate for that is, when I say the kitchen area, I'm talking about where the equipment is, where the team members do the cooking and different things like that. To do that whole floor, because best estimate is it's $125,000. And then when you look at the elementary school as a whole, we talked about library furniture, which is included in the renovation budget. However, furniture, if we were to upgrade the furniture in the entire elementary school, that was not included in the budget. And estimates, if we put all new furniture in all the classrooms of the elementary school, did away with what we have and brought in brand new, it's just a little under $1 million. And that is for all the classrooms to have new tables, chairs, different things like that. So we're just kind of gathering that information and just looking at, if there's funding that's left, where is that used? Is it used for the debt service piece? Is it used to do the kitchen floor? Is it used to purchase new cafeteria tables? Is it used to put its furniture in as much of the building as we can? Those are the kind of things that we have to look at.
Put your wish list together
Yes.
and prioritize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good news is, and we
have a little time for that.
we have some flexibility in that budget because remember we had to go out and borrow money ahead of make a guess at the budget, and the bids came in higher than expected, but luckily it was still within the window. So there is going to be some flexibility, and knock on wood, we don't run into any unforeseen things. But that's why I think as you get into 26, you'll have more information to make better decisions about what you can do over here.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
But we appreciate Jen and her team and Mr. Stanley for you being here. That, when you think $1 million is a lot of money to a lot of people. However, when you get into renovations and different things, and you're talking about HVAC and you're talking about roofing, that's a big dollar amount right there. It goes pretty quickly.
It goes real fast.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I always want to give a plug to Mosley and to English. You couldn't ask for two better companies to work with. They're very responsive and they're always well prepared. Prepared and repaired if they need to be. But they do a lot for us. So I appreciate that.
All right. And we're on number 12.
It's me. Well, this will bring us up to date. We have none in the rears once we approve these. I hope you have a chance to look at them. If you have any questions about any of these policies and the changes. You have a question?
I'd like to thank you for bringing this forward and getting us through these things.
You're welcome.
I don't think we've done that.
Well, don't just thank me. Also, thank the members of my committee, which are Ms. Stiff and Mr. Townsend.
That's right. So
And
thank
our
you.
superintendent,
Thank
Carson.
you for bringing those forward.
Yes.
It's been fun.
It has been. We're well versed on policy, I will tell you that. So if there are no questions or concerns, I would entertain a motion that we approve these policies.
I make a motion, we approve the second reading of the VSBA May 25 updated policies.
Second.
All right. All in favor? Okay. Thank you, and thank you to that committee for doing that. We appreciate it. I know that was a lot of work. All right, B, the draft budget development calendar. Jones?
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, school board members, and Dr. Jones. This evening, I stand before you seeking approval of the, can you believe it, 26-27 budget schedule. Dr. Jones, myself, Mr. Stanley, and Mrs. Puckett, and the intern, I cannot remember her name, I'm so sorry. We met maybe 3 weeks ago and actually discussed the budget calendar. We're actually moving it up a little bit because it would meet the county's deadline as well. So if you all have any questions, we can try to answer them. If not.
I did have a question about that.
Okay.
And now, and the date, that approved the budget priorities, now, do we have are we going to, at first date, December the 3rd, do we discuss that before that, we're gonna have some dates?
We'll do that in November, yes.
Okay.
So the budget priorities of where the school board wants to focus the budget process moving forward, is it salaries, is it some type of, salaries, or is it some additional, positions that we may wanna add and those kind of, yes. And then, as Ms. Jones said, in working with Mr. Stanley and his team, the goal is that at the February 26th school board meeting, I present to you a proposed superintendent's budget. And that way, and that will be based on the governor's budget that's released in December, when those calc tools come out. They are the most concrete numbers that we have. And granted, we're getting into an election time. We'll have a new governor and different things. And then, as you know, as you've worked in budgets before, in the spring, there'll be a House budget, there'll be a Senate budget, but really they're just best guesstimates. And then there will be a General Assembly budget, and then eventually it goes to the governor for approval. So, but the numbers that we use in December usually give us an estimate of how we move forward, yes. So there's lots of meetings that will take place.
Prior to that, December the 3rd?
No, after December 3rd. So we'll talk about some budget priorities in November. Yes.
Well, the governor's budget that we get in December will be from Governor Youngkin.
Yes.
If Abigail Spanberger or Winsome Sears, whichever one gets elected, do they get to come up with their own brand new personal little budget?
Well, there'll be a House budget and there'll be a Senate budget. So
And they won't do another governor's budget?
the governor's budget will come out when the approval. So the governor does a biennium budget. So whichever governor is elected, their first budget release will be next year. December.
Okay. So the new governor doesn't get to do anything with this budget?
Well, they do.
Well, they get to approve it. They end up signing it, right. But in terms of putting out numbers for us to go by, they don't do that.
We use the one from
December.
Okay. But the final numbers will come out when the governor's final
when they sign their
budget. Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right, thank you.
It's lots of moving targets.
Yes, especially in an election year.
Yes.
So,
Any other questions of Mr.
Yes.
Townsend?
well, I was gonna, so we are voting, right? This is
Yeah.
an action. Okay, so
Yeah.
motion to approve the 2026-2027 Prince Edward County Public Schools draft budget calendar as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Thank you, Mr. Sanders.
Number 14 is
So yes,
information items.
thank you to, Mr. Foster and to Mr. Lee for working with us, of course, in the Career Technical Education. Yes, ma'am, we're almost there. But one of the courses that that we are offering that needs approval from the school board is small animal. So, Mr. Foster,
All right,
small
good
animal
afternoon.
care 1 and 2, I'm sorry.
Yes, good afternoon, Madam Chair, school board members, and Dr. Jones. I kind of put this in narrative form, and I won't read word for word, but it's basically, the overview is, during January of 2024, we had a federal review of their CTE program. And one of the findings that they wanted us to pay attention to and fix is that we're actually offering a course right now that we didn't submit an application for. And that's Small Animal Care 1. We actually are doing Small Animal Care 1 and 2. And so as I was preparing the application, Dr. Jones was like, we got to get the board to approve that first, right? And I was like, oh, well, we do? So now here I am, asking for your approval. that is a very important sequence of classes for us because it allows us to send some of our kids for these work-based learning opportunities at Prince Edward Animal Control and Ridge Animal Hospital currently. So that's basically it. And you can see in the last paragraph there, if you guys approve this, we'll get it submitted immediately. Yes, sir.
How large are the smallest, are the largest small animals? What kind of animals are we talking about?
Oh, what's the largest small animal? I'm not
Are we
sure.
talking about dogs and cats?
Yes, dogs and
Okay.
cats, yes. So we have 2 sets of classes, veterinary science 1 and 2, and small animal care 1 and 2.
Horses. We've had students go out to see horses, go to ranches, go to cattle farms. So they give them a variety of experiences with different animals. A lot of it kind of lead into our veterinary care classes as well. So this is kind of some intro level to those. So they get a variety of experiences with different animals.
Are horses counted as a small animal?
So small
When they're
compared to an elephant.
But you since they that is what.
So we are currently offering 1 and 2, or just 1 and we want to add 2 to it?
No, we're currently offering 1 and 2. Just in the federal review, they picked
They
out
just
just
noted
small
that we
animal.
had never
Yeah.
asked for it.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You have
I have
students
a
in their
question.
classes now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Are there students in the class now? Or-
Yes, it's actually a very popular class. I looked back for the last a couple of years, and we've offered it 5 times, and the cap in really any CTE class is 20, and we're averaging about 18.4 students per section. So it's almost full.
I'm sorry, Ms. Sketchel here.
Oh, yes. Any information on graduation and post education in that field after graduation and into a career? Is that a real path for a career? I
Yes.
guess that's what I'm asking.
Yes, ma'am. And they can do a lot of different things with that, yes. The specific details of how many kids are actually going into that career pathway through these classes, I don't have that information in this particular meeting, but I can get that for you.
Would you please, I'm concerned that we begin to concentrate classes and activities, et cetera, trainings on career-driven things. I know we live on the farm, so do I, whatever the case, and horses and things all around, and I just kinda wanna make sure it doesn't lend mostly to recreation and not career. That's what I'm asking.
During this application process, I had to look at, is it a high need in Prince Edward, like vet techs and so forth, and it is, it's a high need for it, and is it a high wage? I think they're in the 40s, 40-some thousand they make, vet techs and vet tech assistants, and so that's part of the application that I'll submit, showing them that data that it is a high need, and so that will add detail to the application, so hopefully we'll get approved.
So with that, Ms. Stiff, just to go off that a little bit, and Mr. Foster and Mr. Lee are working on that, is it's one thing to offer the class and it's high interest, yes, because one thing, we may live in Southside Virginia and there's lots of our kids that have horses, they have cows, they have dogs, they have different animals. But one of the things that we're focusing on is getting the children, whether it's Dr. Gates, who just came in and spoke as a retired vet, or we just had a ranch come in from I think it was Dragon F or something, Dragon F Ranch from Buckingham come in, to let children know the careers that are associated, that if they take this class, this is a pathway that you can go. Because I've seen where sometimes we may offer the class, but we don't fully explain, if you take this pathway, this is what it could lead to. So just to develop that piece just a little bit more. And having the visits, whether it goes to have and just like the same class and the veterinary science, they just took a field trip to the 5 Pillar Meats, the new shop that opened up. And you think, how does that relate? Well, that relates then, you have to know about animals if you might want to open up some type of processing industry or in the business aspect. So just letting them think differently about that. So we are working. So yes, I know what you're saying, yes ma'am, but that's a part that we need to strengthen as well. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I would also say she tries to give them a full circle experience where they can see it at various perspectives. Just like they did go to a meat packing plant, but they also went to a ranch again. And one of our students earlier this week, they were giving ultrasounds to a calf to see like pregnant, how pregnancy works in livestock. So they do. She does a great job of exposing them to various aspects of the program and concept.
And the non-emerge table too, I think she's starting to use that, and that's part, and they have actually dogs that they can basically dissect and look at the anatomy and physiology of even small dogs and monkeys. Believe it or not, they have a monkey on there.
So exposure to various interests.
Yeah. She said she likes to
Yes, ma'am. All right.
We're waiting. Mr. Sampson?
Motion to approve the CTE course, small animal 1.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Separate motion for small animal 2?
No.
I think it was 1 and 2 was in the motion.
It's 1 and 2, but
Did you say 1
I
and 2?
just said 1 because this is what the text and the recommended
need
course of
1 and
action
2.
would
You
say.
did 1 and 2,
Yeah,
right?
so I
So
move
you
we do.
You could just, then, I'm not telling you what to do, but you could just do a motion for small animal 2.
Yeah, I move we do small animal 2.
Second.
all in favor?
So next, if you don't mind, we'll have Ms. Garrett come up and we're gonna talk about the Star Base Academy. And just as a reminder, what that's been is that our 5th grade students, this was a program that was sponsored by the Department of Defense. And it focused on science, technology, engineering, and math, and it was housed at Fort Pickett in the armory outside of Fort Pickett. And it was the first one in the area, and I always like to highlight this. Prince Edward County Public Schools was the first school division to commit for our students to go. We just didn't take the tag students, we just didn't take this group of students. We elected for all of our 5th grade students to go. And they've been going 1 day a week. Each class, 2 classes go 1 day a week, and they do it for 6 weeks. So next week will be their last week. Am I right, Ms. Garrett? So I wanted Ms. Garrett to give an update on that.
So, good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Dr. Jones. The first thing I want to tell you, I've got a cute little video to show you because honestly the best people to tell you how the program is the children. But I first want to just kind of give you an idea of how their day goes. They do experiments all day. They do 2 experiments in the morning, they have lunch, and they do 2 experiments in the evening. So they are doing investigations in the afternoon. The entire day they're going there. And one of the experiments they will talk about here is going to be like the egg bird. And what they do is they create a safety harness for an egg that actually flies on a 3D printed airplane that they printed there. And they have to use different materials, but they also are given a budget. So that's how they bring in like the math. They have to use the budget to see how they would buy the materials to create this. And then they actually carry it out and see if their egg survives the flight. So that's just an example, and you'll hear one of the students talk about this. So what they did is they actually just interviewed a few of the students. So we're going to hear some of the things that they enjoyed. Are you able to play from here?
Well, I'm starting from maybe activity first, which was maybe Edward. And me and my friends, and the assistant, we made an egg inside the airplane. We have it on the line, and then there was a string connected to this let go, the airplane crashes and movies, and then it stops. Somehow I survived,
It survived. That's so cool.
so we take it up and put it on, and then you like put numbers inside of it to count how many it holds. And we made these little bits recently, yesterday we went. They were doing cards, and once we done all those cards, we could make what we want out of the little bits. And making machines out of little bits is really fun because there's words and proximity centers and stuff, and it's really interesting. Putting pieces together and see what works on them. If I had one thing that I could redo, it would be books. But I don't do is give me a robot boss. They're fun. No, if it's a robot boss. One thing I would like to add is all the people who work at Starbase that have helped us. Thank you for everything. Point on the instructions that was perfectly understood. I can go all in.
So I just thought it was great. The kids absolutely love it, and I also want to thank the administrators because, you know, it's really fun, but there's a lot that goes into organizing something like this. And so our transportation department, our food service department, I mean, they pack lunches for them to take every day for them to go. Transportation gets them there, and then our administration organizing it. So there were a lot of people involved, but the kids absolutely loved
And I
it.
think what the most impactful thing is, as you saw the children, and that wasn't a script, I mean, they gotta ask the question they ask is, when a child can relate to their learning, and then talk about it, that is what's impactful. And that's how you start making systematic change, is when the kid feels the relevance, and they're able to communicate about their learning. So that's how change starts to happen.
And every fifth grader is experiencing this?
Yes, ma'am. If the parent did not opt them out, every fifth grader at Prince Edward County Middle School has had the opportunity to go to Starbase. And when they miss it, they don't like it. That is the feedback.
We have great attendance those days, I believe.
Yes.
The other advantage is our teachers go. So our teachers have them come back, and there's some of these items that we will be purchasing, because once they've seen them, they're saying, this is something we can do, are these things that we can buy? And of course, we're saying, yes, let's see how we can bring this back to the classroom. So it's not just one time we go. We want to see how this is going to impact what we do for the students here. Any questions? Yes.
No question, just a comment, and I want to thank you all for going the extra mile for the exposure.
Yes.
It is critical, since we live in a small general area, that our children get exposure so they have a general idea of other things to do, other things to see, other places to go, and other things to talk about. So thanks for the exposure. Yes.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you. Okay, I think I had one more thing.
Hey, Chris Jones.
Yep,
Yeah.
Chris Jones. So last time we talked to you about the support we were going to do, the work we were going to do with Chris Jones. At this point, he has had the opportunity to visit each school. So we have started that work, and I will say that we had all participation from administrators. We had large groups those days, and it was a long day, but it was a really impactful day. So I think there was a lot of good work that was going on with the administrators working on just how to observe in a different way and how to collect data as we go through classrooms. And so we're going to do this 2 more times, and then we will be able to go and start having some conversations with the teachers. But right now it's just about the administrators and what do we look at and what do we see when we go into classrooms. Any questions about? Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Now we have Mr. Foster that's going to give a little update on the accountability. As you've seen, if you've been watching the news, the different changes that are occurring with accountability and the accreditation, just thought it was now, and all, just keep in mind, official data for school systems has not been released. Everything is still preliminary. So when we talk about the different information for Prince Edward County Public Schools, this is using the accreditation and the accountability matrix and how the numbers that we have and how we interpret the outcomes. So.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Good afternoon again, Madam Chair, school board members, Dr. Jones. As Dr. Jones was saying, all this is preliminary, and we're getting updates all the time with data. Okay, so this is the most current data, and I'll start with the elementary school, middle school, then go to the high school. So, and I'll explain this. These aren't my real glasses. I broke my real glasses, and I have to take them off and on all the time. So, as you know, they look at mastery, growth, and readiness. And so what we can see up here on the top left with mastery, you can see the points earned in reading and math. And you can see how much, the percent that they actually got. When we look at the possible indicator points, think of that as the total points that they can get to be accredited. So for reading, they could get 27.5 points, and then with math the same. And you can see the points that they did get. It looks like they're kind of switching the name there because they're saying an indicator, same thing as index. And I used to refer to it as index scores. So you see that they got a 22.98 in reading and a 24.18 in math. When we look over to the growth, just follow that same format. However, you can see the top row shifted a little bit. You don't see total points earned. You see 1.25 points, 1.5 and 0 points. So that's the number of kids for reading. So I'm going to go across. For reading, they had 16 kids that had 1.25 points attached to him or her. And then you had 43 kids that had 1.58 kids, 0.5, and 23 showed nothing. That
showed no growth.
No growth. So again, when you go to the indicator points there, or the index value points, they could have got 17.5, but they got 11.49 in reading. And you just follow that same pattern for math. And when we get down to the readiness, now readiness at the elementary school is different than the readiness at the middle school. But for elementary, it's just chronic absenteeism. And so there were 709 students counted, and 145 of them were chronically absent. 10 indicator points or index value points were possible. They got 7.95. So you add those up and you will get 78.98. And you need an 80 to be on track. So they will be more than likely preliminary off track for this coming school year.
And they do not round up.
Yeah, this is federal, so there is no rounding. Some positives is, if you look on the bottom right, the in-person flexible learning absenteeism recovery. Any student that is absent, they can stay after school for 3 hours, whether tutoring or tutoring, and 3 hours will equal 1 day recovery. The max a student can recover within a school year is 15 days. So they made up 1,146 days from 92 students. So they are, at each base school, they are offering this, and they had some impressive numbers. some glows. She has some strong performance in math mastery, and some grows is growth in reading and math, the growth scores. So that's a little extra tidbit. I'll go to the middle school now. Same thought process. So you can look at the mastery here. The mastery, and actually I'm going to go back. So you don't see EL at the elementary level, and that's your English language learner, because you got to have at least 15 kids participating, and they didn't have 15 kids at the elementary, so they didn't have an EL score. And but the middle school did. They had 15 kids. They actually had 16 kids that were eligible. So same thought process, however, the possible points are different. For reading and math, you have, instead of 27.5 at the elementary, you have 20 possible points for reading and math. Science, you only have 10 possible points you can get, and your EL students, 10 possible points, and you can see that was a significant area of weakness for the middle school, the EL. We come over to the right and we look at the, that'd be your readiness. I'm sorry, that is not the, I had the, okay, so that title there, I should have changed to readiness, so I apologize for that. That's really readiness. The chronic absenteeism, they had 10 possible points, they got 8.15. The advanced coursework, you had 47 students, and 45 of those students made the expected outcome. So they got almost all their points there. We go down to the growth, so I'll follow that same format that I explained for elementary, and they had 12.5 points that they could have got. For reading, they got 7.95. Math, they got 7.28. You add all of them up, you get 74.75. And again, you need 80, so they'll be off track also, based on preliminary data. And again, I apologize for that title. That should be mastery, growth, and readiness.
So I just want to point out for the advanced coursework for the middle school, that is considered your students that are taking geometry and algebra 1.
Yes.
That is considered the advanced coursework. And as you can see right here, possible point indicators were 5, and we acquired 4.78. So that benefited the middle school.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, that was a good outcome for them. You can also see the number of days they recovered through the in-person flexible learning, 1,250 days. They had more, I believe the most of,
Yes.
They had the most. So out of 127 students. I put some little tidbits down there for your glows and your grows, and yeah. So now I'll go to the high school. And the high school, it's a little bit different because they only, for most part, they focus on the graduating class, the cohort. And so when you look at mastery, you have like 4 years to get those kids to pass their SOLs. And so you're going to have a lot of the mastery. You're going to get a lot of your almost maximum points. So you can see for reading, they got 96.46% of the possible points. Again, the difference is middle school, elementary, 1 year snapshot. The high school, you have 4 years. So they got 16.07 points out of the possible 16.7. And just follow that down. You can see they did very well. When you jump over to readiness at the high school encompasses a lot. It encompasses your 3E framework, your chronic absenteeism, also, believe it or not, your 6-year graduation. I just didn't have enough room to pull it over there. So I tried to get everything on one slide. The 3E framework helped the high school out a lot. You can see that is your employment, your enrollment, and your enlistment. So it's the work that Mr. Lee does with the employment, and the enrollment is getting the kids to take DE classes and And
Enlistment is the ASVAB test.
what's that?
Enlistment is
It's
the
the
ASVAB.
ASVAB. Yep.
To join the military, okay.
So we had, you can see, I think it was 4 students that participated in the ASVAB last year, and you can see their scores there. The chronic absenteeism, 111 students out of 495. You get all these things up together, the graduation rate, the 6-year graduation rate. You'll get the final number, 92.03, which is distinguished. So anything above 90 is distinguished. Their chronic absenteeism, not the chronic absenteeism, the in-person flexible learning. I didn't have that in there. They didn't make as much as the middle school and elementary, but they did recover several students. I apologize for not having that in there.
So, well, if you go back up here to the elementary school and the middle school for the reading and math, where it says percentage of possible points, the 83.57 there does not mean that 83.57% of the kids at the elementary school passed 400.
No.
So all of the scores, all of the things that we've been looking at for the last zillion years are meaning, just throw all that away right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
So it doesn't
A lot of
really
changes are
matter,
coming.
so like at the high school, I'm just gonna bring it up. This 96% means that a child that started in the 9th grade in 2021, or whatever year it was, they started in the 9th grade. By the time everybody graduated last May 17th, 96.46 of them had passed the reading test. Is that what that
At
means?
some point in those.
At
Right,
some point
at
in
some
those
point,
points,
That's
yes.
exactly what it means.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but it has nothing to do with, on the day that SOLs were given for reading at the high school, it wasn't even close to 96%, is that correct?
That's right.
That is correct, because everything, as Mr. Foster referenced, in the new accountability and the accreditation system for a high school, it is based on cohorts. So, your senior class is your cohort of how your, say, accreditation and the accountability of your high school is. So the thought is, if Chip Jones comes to the high school and takes biology for science, because that is the test they have to sit for.
Yes.
That's a federal regulation. They have to sit for the biology test, the SOL. If I'm not successful on that, and let's say I took it in 9th grade, or 10th grade, then we have 2 or 3 more years to get me to pass it.
Yes.
And it's just like there are students that come from the middle and school that have either taken geometry or algebra 1. They have earned their verified credit to satisfy their graduation. However,
Still got it.
because of federal requirements, they have to sit for a SOL test. And sometimes students know they've earned that verified credit. They just need to take the class
And the test.
and the test, and it really doesn't matter how they perform on the test to them, but it does for us as a division and the high school. And if they're not successful the first time, the thought is we have 3 more years to get them to pass. But I can't stress to you enough, they've already earned their verified credit sometimes, and they've done the requirement of sitting for a test. So why would I sit for a test that I don't need?
Yeah.
That's the catch-all to some of this.
I-
That's a lot to listen to.
Well, and I have one other question about the growth, because this is based on the EVOS at the North Carolina model, correct? At the elementary school, there were 23 kids that showed no growth in reading and 21 kids who showed no growth in math, is that right?
That's right. It was below the expected.
But Ms. Garrett, correct me or Mr. Foster, the thing that's unique about this, especially probably for Prince Edward Elementary, is for a child to be counted for growth, they will have to have set for 2 SOL tests, right?
That's right.
Correct.
Our 3rd graders have not set for any SOL test.
Right.
Our 4th graders have set for 2 tests, the reading and the math in 3rd grade. So the growth for the elementary school is based on 4th graders.
Only one grade.
On only 1 grade level.
Yeah.
Right, and if we go to the middle school, which
That's
is
why you see pretty low numbers too.
low numbers,
Yes.
because it's only the, 4th grade, but when we get to the middle school, and I know that you said that they can fund the EVOS this year, so it's gonna be a whole different growth model, but to have 124 kids not show any growth in reading, and 116 not show any growth in math, that's pretty concerning.
Yes.
Because I know it's based on a predicted score. Each child has a predicted score based on their history of taking SOLs.
That's right.
And so that's the line of what their predicted number is. And, I mean, it's, if they go above that, then they've shown growth. Even if they were predicted to make a 375, and they make a 390, they still did not get a 400, but they showed growth. But we had a whole bunch at the middle school who did not show growth, and that's concerning.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's why I have some there, you know, the grows, the EL progress and the math performance specifically, growth and mastery as a area to.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
All right.
Any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm not understanding to a degree, the in-person flexible learning absenteeism recovery. What is recovered there that can be used in the overall scheme of things, in the overall, results or end results here? I'm not understanding how that is used.
So they have to stay, I can tell you like the requirements. It has to be from a teacher, it has to be after school. It can be on a Saturday, it can be on the weekend, or it can be after school, you know, during the week. And they'll stay back and they'll receive instruction from a teacher in that content area for at least 3 hours. Not in one day, but for 3 hours, and they can recover 1 day absent. So we have a tracking sheet that takes attendance, and at the end of the year, we submit that to the DOE, and then they subtract the days absent. And it
So
takes.
your after-school programs that we offer, the tutoring and different things, and we have, especially for elementary and middle school, because if we have the teacher, every time the child attends, we get credit. If they get up to 3, once they get to this 3 hours, it counts as a day of recovery for us.
So it helps our chronic absenteeism.
It helps the chronic
absenteeism.
absenteeism, yes.
So you're able to make up time.
So,
Yes, ma'am, it is a lot.
Okay.
I'm glad we have that.
Any questions for you guys? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So making the score on the SOL test doesn't mean.
It does at the elementary
At
and
the
middle.
elementary and middle level.
What's that?
The scoring at the SOL
Well, you
test.
have pass and
You
bank.
did pass and pass and.
Yeah,
and all that
you have,
stuff.
below basic,
Basic, what they call it.
proficient, and advanced. And
You
so
get different
points are
points
based on
associated
that.
with that.
Yeah.
But then it all goes into this model of how your points are awarded. So, yes, yes, sir.
I want to commend our board focus after hearing this tonight. It just adds to that impetus as far as the career of OED technical focus our board has put in place for this year and moving forward based on what the Department of Ed has placed on, you know, on the score and the mastery.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are on discussion of the participation in the 26th VSBA Physical Governance Cohort.
All right.
So we were invited by VSBA to participate in the VSBA Physical Governance Program that we held in the spring. You can see the dates: March 3rd, March 24th, April 30th, and May 12th. And the way that it's currently set up, and they've expanded it now, that in the past, I think it's been one board member. It would be me, it would be Ms. Eames Walton, Ms. Jones, and this year would be Ms. Garrett, the instruction piece, and a board member, that those members can attend for cost. It's $7,500. They've extended now that all board members can attend, and the cost would be $9,000. So is this something that the board would like to participate in? And if so, do we want the $7,500 model, or do you want the $9,000 model?
So for $2,000 more or
About
1,500, 8 people can go. For 7,500, 1 board member goes.
Yes. Or if it's something that you would like to move forward with.
It's
Yes,
held
sir.
where?
In Charlottesville.
In Charlottesville.
All day long on those
Yes, ma'am.
days?
No, we go to all 4 sessions?
Yes, ma'am, yes, sir,
Uh-huh. If you commit, you're committing to all 4, correct?
yes.
We went through it last year, Ms. Jones?
It's been about 2 years.
About 2 years ago, I was the board member, Ms. Jones was with finance, and Dr. Wallace was the instruction person, and was that all?
Superintendent.
And so, yeah, basically for it. And it was a cohort of making you see how finance is just as important as instruction.
Well, all the pieces fit together.
And all the pieces, fit together. And it was really a good one. I enjoyed it. I learned some things in there. But if that's up to you, board members, if you'd like to do that. Mr. Townsend?
When do we have to decide by?
I'm not sure.
I've kinda let them know that we would be interested in it, so they have us penciled in. Just who would be going, whether we're that.
Just the board composition might be different in January, so
Yes.
just something to consider, be aware. If y'all are interested and you thought it was valuable, I could be for it, as long as the dollars and cents add up. I would vote for the basic model, not the premium model.
You want to send 1 person?
Well, because I know I couldn't make half of those, or any of them, and wouldn't want us to waste, and I don't know what everybody else's schedule is, but we can, it's hard enough getting all 8 of us together.
It is. So,
Maybe check.
I would go. I would go too. And it feels like to me, if you've got at least 3 or 4 of us that want to go, it's worth doing the premium one.
I'm comfortable with
And
either.
that's in Charlottesville?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in Charlottesville, it starts like at 9 and then to like 2 or 2:30 something, maybe later. Usually before the buses left, they would let us out to get back down the mountain.
I would be interested in going,
Okay.
help me, just.
I have enough time to just put in for it now, but.
Well,
You
Have
could,
this
if you
happen.
knew now, you could do it.
Right, I
Okay.
could,
Would you be interested?
I would be interested.
Yeah, I would be too.
Go over the dates,
They're on here.
March
Yes, sir.
3rd
March 3rd.
and
Not the slideshow back in your board docs.
March 24th. Okay, March 3rd.
You gotta go back to board docs, you're still in the
Yeah.
PowerPoint.
Yeah, get straight.
you go to,
You don't have to really look at that schedule.
Click back on your board docs tab, it should be that third.
Spring break calls.
And then, yeah, if you, on your views.
But we don't have to vote on this tonight.
No, it's not something you would
It's
vote
not
on,
something we're going on, they just offered it and we went.
just for discussion,
Never seen
I'll
that.
let you know. So it sounds like no matter how many go, that we'd probably be on the more premium pathway, right?
He wants to get a discount.
I doubt it. I've never known VSB to get
So
discounts.
if we have at least 2 or 3.
Yes, sir.
Then it's worth the money.
It's worth it, that's, do that.
Because the training, like each one of these sessions, the training is like $185.
I know, and then you get credit for doing it too.
The Starfish, right?
Get
See,
the credit
you
for
get your
doing
thing.
it. Well, we did it, the cohort, the next year, we presented at the, national convention. We go to in November, so that's some more little brownie points.
I think it's good for those that can go.
And the presenters were very, very good. Dr. Thornton guy.
Thornton.
Dr. Thornton and
And Jeff,
Smith,
Smith.
Dr. Smith.
yeah, Jeff,
they were very good. They were very good.
he's very charismatic.
Yes, they are. All right.
Mm.
All right, while we're in there, can we say something about the one we go to on the 22nd?
Yes, ma'am, just a reminder that, when you went through your superintendent, search process, VSBA, one of the things that came along with that process was you got a free training with VSBA. And that is still scheduled for October 22nd in Charlottesville from 10 to 3. That is a Wednesday. And we would come and it talks about norms and different things we've done and protocols. But you know, I'm your new superintendent, and it'd be a time for us to, if there are things that need to be reviewed. So that is the 22nd from 10 to 3 in Charlottesville. We have vehicles reserved and so, ma'am. We can go together or we can go, you can drive yourself. It just starts at 10 o'clock.
Let us know what time we need to be here if we want.
I think we would probably want to leave here I like to give stuff time just in case. 8, I think we want to leave at 8 because morning
Takes an
traffic
hour
and
and a
different
half.
things.
Route 20, never can predict.
Never can.
That's the worst road ever.
It's pretty bad.
And it is at the VSBA building.
Yes, sir.
Messed up last year.
Yeah.
About 20.
Okay.
So,
20 is
I'll go.
careless.
Transportation.
We'll take you. We'll make sure you get there. Yes, sir. We got you.
Hate to understand.
We got you.
that road is okay, I did it.
All right.
So you'll get with us about all that
Yes, ma'am.
between now and then?
I will.
Okay. Okay.
One of us. Okay.
Calendar.
Calendar.
As you can see, fall is busy. Tomorrow, just as a reminder, is the crunch herd around the Commonwealth because this is Farm to School Week, and the state superintendent Emily Ann Gullickson will be at Prince Edward County Public Schools at the elementary. She'll get here about 9 o'clock, and then we'll go to the elementary school about 9:30. So if you can join us, that would be great. So this is the school division that she chose to come to in the Commonwealth. So
Who is this?
the state superintendent, Emily Ann Gullickson. So she will be here, and Mr. Davis and Ms. Vance and her team have got some. I think she's planning to eat lunch at the elementary school. So it's gonna be a morning full of excitement.
What's the date?
Tomorrow.
So you want us to be at the elementary school around 9:15?
Yes, 9. Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
9:15.
Come to the main office?
Yes.
Okay. We'll be there. I'll be there.
Alright.
All right. And then just a report from me a little bit. You know, you've heard all the good things. Just as a reminder, today we had the 22 students that were inducted into the Rotary Interact Club. So you hear all the things about maybe that aren't the such positive things that happen in school systems, but there are many positive things that happen on a daily basis. So that was exciting. You know, the partnership that we have with JMU, the teacher in resident that Hood Fraser does, we had about 50 middle school students that actually traveled to JMU last 2 weeks ago. And I met with the Dr. Fraser and his superior, and they all stopped in today to say hello, but they also wanted to tell me that the comment was made at JMU that they wished all groups of students could behave like the Prince Edward County Public Schools kids, students behave. So that's always a good thing. So that's always exciting. And then also, I was contacted by Beth Tigan, who is the Powhatan superintendent, that asked me to be part of a group that'll meet between now and December. It's called the Rethink Ed Collaborative. And what that is, it's to reimagine the K-12 educational experience for students in Virginia. And what the collaborative will do, I'll be part of it. I think the Goochland superintendent will be part of it, of course. Beth Tigan, I think there's a state senator, Luther Cyphers, that's involved in it as well. And a couple of people, local government, I think, from Powhatan. But just looking at reimagining the purpose of teaching and learning in the 21st century, defining success for every student beyond test scores and compliance. And then, as you saw with their star base with their students, when we go above the test and students make connections, ensuring curriculum and assessment and professional learning, and then looking at and identifying and addressing non-statutory barriers that limit innovation. Just looking at different legislation that gets passed by lawmakers above the SOQs that are hard to to implement and different things. So I'm just glad to be part of that, and that will start. I think that I can't go to the first meeting because we'll be in Charlottesville, but I can go to the rest of them. But I'm glad to have been chosen. I think it's a good representation of the school division. October is National Principals Month. Just thank you to Ms. Vance, Ms. Clark Reed, Ms. Tibbs, and Mr. Lee for all they do. I think their biggest accolade is they tolerate me. I don't know. But we just talked about the Farm to School Week that's happening. The seniors today, right across in the lobby of the CTE wing, were picking out their caps and gowns and rings. And I went in there just to see how things were going. And I talked to a parent that still had on her Prince Edward County Public Schools ring from 20 years ago. And so those kind of things mean a lot to people. The Reading Eagle was at a national night out last night at the fairgrounds. Thank you to Ms. Giles and Ms. Amos and Mr. Good went. And I want to say, was there one other person? So anyway, the Reading Eagle was there, so that went well. FAFSA night at the high school is coming up on October 21st, so we all know what a FAFSA form entails from 6 to 8. Monday was their National Coaches Day. Last week we celebrated Homecoming 2025. It was my first one as an Eagle. There were theme days, there were the parade, there was the tailgate, and then there was the crowning of the King and Queen. I will say they just let me put the crown on the king because they weren't sure how I was going to do with putting a sash on someone. So that's probably a blessing for everyone. And so Truth Woodard was our homecoming queen and Malik Jones was our king. And then Saturday night was the homecoming dance that was held in the cafeteria. And I went, of course, high school administration was there, Ms. Garrett was there, and just the kids having a good time. It was great. And our own Ms. Watkins was the DJ Mickey T. And the kids had a great time, and I mean, they seemed to really enjoy it. Our middle school PTO hosted a breakfast for the middle school staff, which was nice, and the elementary school PTO did some sweet treats for the staff. So our PTO organizations are doing a lot. We took some 3rd through 8th graders to Keysville for the Governor's School Shadow Day so they could see the Governor's School's experience. So that was good. And then at the end of September, we had our first Feed More market at the Fireman Sports Arena. And I want to give a huge thank you to Hampton-Sydney, the Rotary Club, Longwood Center for Visual Arts, Cricket Wireless, and Southside Electric for being there as volunteers. It was good. You know, you've seen their first town hall that we're having of the school year. You know, we had several town halls in the summer. This one will be October 21st at 5:30 at the Farmville Library. It'll be the first time we've hosted an event at the Farmville Library. And that's going to be on bullying prevention because, you know, October is bullying prevention. And Megan Clark, the Commonwealth's attorney, will be there as well as Crossroads. And then Ms. McClure, who works with the federal programs, will be there to talk about our telehealth when it comes to the, you know, we just talked about the counseling that we have available to families. That is October 21st at 5:30. So, yes, sir. And what was the other thing I had? Anyway, all in all, as you can see, things are moving along in Prince Edward County Public Schools. We recognize the radio and how we go on there and give highlights and different things. But I always like to say this, I can't say enough about the staff at Prince Edward County Public Schools and all they do on a daily basis, from central office to Ms. Jones and the finance piece, to Ms. Eanes Walton, to Mr. Good, to Ms. Garrett, to all the administrative assistants, and Mr. Foster, you know, doing the data piece, and now that his new role as school board clerk, and Ms. Jones is like, can that start right now? And different things, just all the great things that take place, and it just doesn't happen. They coordinate it and they make it happen. So hopefully, you know, positive traction, and we're moving into budget season, and hopefully everyone will see why it is such an honor to be an Eagle as much as we do. So we're working. So that's my update.
Thank you. All right, board member comments, that's where we are. Any comments from board members? would like to say? Yes.
Well, I had an opportunity last week to attend the the elementary National Honor Society and the middle school National Honor Society. And I will tell you, those little fourth graders, 54 fourth graders, who met, and the standards are the same whether it's elementary, middle, or high school. It's scholarship, character, leadership, and there's one more, service. And they all have to apply to be in it. And there were a little over 20, I think, at the middle school who met the qualifications. I know at the middle school, I don't know what the GPA is, I don't know if you do GPA, but it's a 3.8 at the middle school. That's very high. And those kids did such an outstanding job presenting and telling the audience about it. And it just did my heart good to see all of those really, I mean, the future is bright with those kids. And then I was at the Interact induction today at the high school, and I was so glad I went, because what an amazing group of 22 young men and women who want to serve their community and their school. And so, anyway, there are really great things happening in Prince Edward County Schools.
Thanks for the representation.
I also went to the middle school National Honor Society induction ceremony, and yes, it was very nice. It was a good-looking group of kids. So they all seemed really excited about it. I guess that's why they didn't use their hallway voice. They were using their inner voice, and you could hardly hear them. But they left the hallway voice at home. Voice at home. I just want to remind you about, I know you know this, but the Children's Book Festival starts next week, and I know you guys are off the first, you know what we went through last year, okay? So we're not going through this year. If you can, hope that we'll see some Prince Edward students there.
So it's later in the week, and we do have many students that are attending later in the week.
Well, good. I'll go look for them.
Yes.
And Ms. Tips, thank you for that invitation to come to the homecoming day. I must have missed the party now.
It was a party.
Yeah, it was a party. I was at Walmart trying to buy something, but
Miss
thank
Megan
you for
and I
that.
were buying some
Maybe
decorations.
next time, if you ask me, I'll have whatever I'm wearing and everything together. Gotta do that. All right, but thank you for the invitation. I'm glad it all went well. And thank you to the principals for all you do. Been there, that's work. That's work. But you enjoy it. Thank you. All right, that's all I got. Anyone else?
I'd like to say that the festivities did appear to be real good on campus last week. Actually, I've received an award of excellence before, but this is the first time I ever realized that it ever meant anything. So I like to point that out. Thank you.
Well, good. You can take it home and put it on your refrigerator.
And the other thing is now we do have a committee that is looking into names of facilities, and and I had brought one name up, Coach Baker, and I wanted to make sure that we at least try to, especially as we're doing this renovation with the elementary school, that we put something in there. We wouldn't want to have to add it later if we can do it as we're building the school. But I did bring his name for us before, and I like to make sure that we don't forget that. I'd like to make sure the man has served the school for about 40 years, and he's done the coach, he's done football, he's done track, and So, and he's a humble man, he's not gonna be the one who's gonna bring it forward, but I think that we should, and his family is the same way, they're not as likely to bring him forward, but I think we should look at it, as we're doing it.
Okay, great.
Mr. Tackett?
I'd just like to commend our administration from the school, our school administration to the division, as far as the focus on the communication, and then also the celebrations, as far as whether it's Facebook, social media. Farmville Herald article was in there last week about our career technical program. Dr. Lee, it was fabulous. So there's been a really, you can tell there's been a really concentrated effort and work behind the scenes. So thank you all.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to the principals. Last year, Ms. McQuaid-Hicks, especially in her effort to put the high school on the map for one reason or the other. However, we made some progress in all areas in our division. And it's coming from hard work, it's coming from dedication, motivation, and wanting to see the children get the best that they can. And it continue the good work that you're doing, because we know what you're doing. The community knows what you're doing. And it may not always show up on these papers, but we know where your heart is, and your hard work ends and begins on the next day. So, continuing cycle. So kudos to you. Yes, you've made accomplishments. Keep your head up. And if we can help, we're here for you. Okay? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Athletic Director.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for the pass. He said, you don't need one. I said, well, okay, he said, I'll get you one. Thank you very much. Well, he got everybody. He did get one. Just let me know. Okay.
And just to give one more shout out that I did mention was to October 22nd, once we get back from Charlottesville, is STEM night at the middle school.
Yes.
So I can't, it's at the middle school from 5, it starts at 5, and they have lots of activities planned, hands-on, there's be dinner served. Code Virginia, which works with coding, they will be here. Southside Electric will be here. I think James River Equipment is going to have some equipment here, just so the community partners are really showing up.
Hampton, Sydney.
Hampton, Sydney, Longwood, it's really a community collaboration. Yes.
The 22nd.
Well,
Yes.
and I forgot one other thing. On October 16th, it's my understanding this next week at 10 a.m. at the middle school gym, the whole high school is going to watch a basketball game being done by, help me, Ms. Tips?
Our Medford League,
Medford League,
our
yeah.
Students with Disabilities, their basketball league.
Yes.
We have typically
16.
hosted them in the high school gym, which is just not big enough to hold all of our students. And so Ms. Clark Reed was so gracious. It is one of the days that half the middle school will be at the Children's Book Festival. So we are bringing the high school over to use the middle school gym so that the entire school can celebrate them and their
10 a.m. on next, it's next
Thursday.
week.
the 16th. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
the 16th. Sorry.
All right,
Now, let's move on.
let's, we have to vote on the closed session.
Yeah, we got to vote on.
Motion to approve the personnel report as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Okay.
Motion to approve religious exemptions for students A, B, and C.
Second.
All in favor?
That's it.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Yes, thank you. Have a good